Hi, everyone. So nice to see you all here. It's so late in the day. Well, for some, it's much earlier than usual, switching the time up of our session today. So some are able to make it a little easier. Hi, Angela. Hi, Brad. Hi, Gary. Hi, Anna. Gigi Saima. Great to see you all. We'll wait just maybe another minute. If you are not with us on Insight Timer, I invite you to join us on Insight Timer to be part of this interactive experience. Ah. Hmm. Hi, Annika. How is our sound? How's our connection, friends? Okay, great. I'm going to do a little something here, so I might freeze for just a moment. I'm going to switch over to make sure I'm only on the hardwire option. Hi, Samantha. Okay, well, I'm grateful. Oh, hold on. Now it's changing. 1 second. 1 second. All right, I think we're back. Okay, good. Welcome. Mm. For anyone that I'm getting to meet today for the first time, my name is Selena. This is a weekly session that we have, usually at the same time, although, as I mentioned before, this is a different time. And this is really a space for us to be in community, to take care of our hearts, to become aware of our minds, to do the inner work as much as we feel called to in the healing space of community. I'm very grateful for this time together and for your presence here. I have many recordings here on the app. I also have two courses. One is called Yogic Practices for a Peaceful Life, and the other is called Awaken My Heart, a guide to living with self-love. A great introduction to very practical, accessible tools and exercises to cultivate a more self-loving relationship. What else? We have a group, Love Heals All. It's a space for sharing, and these days, sometimes more of a space for announcements and also connection to just connect with like minded souls. What else? You can check my profile page for my live schedule. There's also a Linktree website if you'd like to stay more connected and know what else I'm offering in the world. And I think those are all the announcements. Let's move into the centering technique. This is an ancient yogic technique that is very helpful for bringing us back into an experience of inner alignment and centeredness. If you can't move your body, you can just visualize this. If you can, I invite you to have your feet on the floor, flat on the floor if possible. So we start to feel this sense of being anchored, connected, even held. Feel your hips and your legs heavy, your shoulders maybe soften down a little. Palms touch at the heart center. Allow a space between the teeth and start to consciously soften the jaw. Take a full deep breath in. Exhale. And now, as you inhale, reach your right hand all the way up, your left hand down by your navel, but all the fingers point up. And then exhale really slowly to come back to the heart. Inhale the left hand all the way up, the right hand comes down by the navel, open the chest. Exhale slowly to the heart. One more time with the right hand leading. Inhale. Exhale, slowly come back to the heart. Palms touch. Allow the hands to stay here. Breathe naturally. Close your eyes if you wish. Feel the palms and the fingers touching. Are you any more aware of your inner world? Do you feel any more present, centered? Just notice. Now relax the hands down. Might feel comfortable to have the hands resting on the thighs with the palms facing upward. Roll one shoulder up, back and down, and the other shoulder up, back and down. Feel your pelvis in a neutral position, so your tailbone is naturally dropping down. Place one hand on your belly if you can, and as you inhale, start to see if you can find a sensation of the belly expanding. And as you exhale, feel how the belly starts to draw inward. Inhale, there's an expansion through the belly, and maybe also up into the mid body and the rib cage. And then exhale, there's this drawing in. Continue to explore this with your breath. You may wish to gently touch the tongue to the roof of the mouth, just behind the upper teeth. Feel the jaw again relaxing in that slight space between the teeth. If your hand is still holding your belly and it feels better to just relax the hand, go ahead and do so. We'll now move into a somatic breathing technique that helps to activate the vagus nerve. When the vagus nerve is activated, it in turn activates the rest and digest response in the nervous system, where we feel more regulated and at times also more relaxed. The way to move into this technique, we'll take a full breath in, and as we exhale, we'll make the sound VOO, like VOO. And what we're exploring here is having the sound VOO last as long as the breath is moving out of the body. Many of us have shallow breathing techniques or conditioning, not techniques. And so we don't really access this fullness of breath. You might find that as you're exhaling, the sound stops before the full exhalation. So see if you can match the two. Continue to make that voo sound until there's no more breath. And then take a slow, deep breath in again to begin. So, again, if possible, feel the feet anchored on the earth. Take a full, deep breath in. Exhale completely. And then we'll begin with the sound VOO. Inhale fully. VOO. It's okay if your breath is shorter or longer than mine, just match your breath and sound. Vu. May even feel like you need to push on the breath a little bit at the end to find that full exhalation. Vu. Good, and just breathe naturally here. Release making the sound. Just notice if there have been any subtle shifts inside. Maybe there is a sense of spaciousness or expansion, tingling or vibrating. Great. We'll do this 3 more times. Again, we take a full, slow, deep breath in, and then we make this sound voo as we exhale. And to support the full exhalation, you may kind of feel like the navel starts to draw toward the spine, or there's a little bit of pushing on the sound at the end to complete the breath. We'll take a full breath in to begin. Voo. 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 And then once you're complete, breathe naturally. Feel your body becoming heavier. Be still. Just notice what's happening inside. Hmm. We are in a time of year where many feelings may be stirring on top of whatever else is already occurring in life. So let's take a few moments together to offer ourselves some loving reminders to support us navigate all of the different feelings, thoughts, and challenges that naturally arise in this human experience. If it feels comforting, you may wish to hold your belly, your heart, or place your hands anywhere on your body that feels comforting. Take a full breath in, exhale completely, and then say to yourself, either in your mind or out loud, thank you. Thank you for being. Thank you for continuing to show up even when it's difficult. I know you are doing your best, and I'm grateful. Thank you for showing up and continue to say these words to yourself. It's okay to feel whatever you're feeling. Emotions are a natural part of being human. It's okay to feel joy even when others don't. It's okay to feel sadness or any other emotion even when others don't. I honor what I am feeling and release the need to compare myself to others. I can be the best version of myself and still give myself care, kindness, and permission to make mistakes, to not have it all figured out. I give myself permission to not have it all figured out. The more I treat myself with kindness, the more at peace I feel. The more I treat myself with love, the easier it is to be kind with others. I choose kindness and love. I choose staying in my power, even when it feels scary. I am honoring and respecting myself. I know peace begins with me, so I am caring for myself. I am so grateful for who I am and for who I am becoming. This life isn't easy, and I am so grateful to myself. I invite you to bring to mind, bring to your heart any intentions that you have right now. Maybe you have an intention to have a peaceful, loving time with family, or maybe you have an intention for understanding and peace amidst the groups at war. Or maybe you have an intention for deep compassion and healing to awaken in all of humanity. Maybe you have an intention to be more loving with yourself. Whatever your intentions are, I invite you to really feel them inside, like they're waking up. And together in our oneness, in our love, may our intentions be so for the highest good for ourselves and for all. So take these next few moments to just let any intentions you have be felt, be spoken, be heard. Let's take a full breath in and out together. Relax the shoulders, any part of the body that might be clenching but feels ready to soften. Just take a breath, and as you exhale, feel yourself letting go. Feel the earth beneath you, the sky above you, the support under your body in this moment, the chair, the bed, the couch, the floor. Slowly move the body, welcoming presence, awareness back to the physicality. Take your time. Whenever you're ready, open the eyes. Mm, Thank you. Mm, Thanks, JJ. John sharing. It's okay to feel sadness even when others don't. It's okay to feel joy even when others don't. I give myself permission to not have it all figured out. All right, I think this is just a bunch of the affirmations. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Thanks, John. Thanks for capturing that. May it be of service moving forward. Thank you. Thanks for sharing those in the chat for us. Oh, here we are. Hi, Liz. Yes, yes, yes. Mm. So, what are you aware of, my beloved, beloved souls? You're not mine. Don't mean that in a possessive way. I mean it from the most tender place in my heart. Oh, my beloved. What are you aware of? What are you aware of inside? And maybe we'll say, what are you aware of in regards to this experience that we just shared? Hi, Heidi. Thanks, Heidi. Debu sharing, hi, Selena. I have been hearing lots of your talks and podcasts here on IT. Oh, but the first live. Oh, beautiful. I'm so grateful to be together. Thank you for saying hi. Yes, anyone who's here for the first time, please do say hi. Such a gift to be together. Oh, great, Andrea. I'm feeling yours also. And JJ shared, I love the hand raising we did at the beginning. I was wondering what the movement means. Ah, yes. So, this is an ancient yogic technique. I've learned it all of these years as the centering technique. And I'll just give a really brief explanation of it. So, when we look at um, the metaphysical understanding of the body, we have more than just the physical body. We have these energetic bodies around the physicality that are just as real and just as much part of this body. They're just not as dense or just not as gross. So we don't have the same experience of them. Most people don't see them, but many of us actually do feel them. Like, for example, you might know the experience of someone walking really close to you and it feels like you're like, oh, like you feel like they've just brushed up against you, but they never touched you. And that's the interaction of the subtle bodies. Yes. So in our lives, with everything that happens, sometimes we feel, thrown off here or pulled over here. We feel out of balance in our lives often, right? So often. So the centering technique, it's like it brings all of the subtle bodies back into alignment, back in this centeredness. And so that's what this motion is doing. It's helping to bring this alignment of all of the physical bodies, the subtle bodies. Sorry. Thanks for asking that question. Nicole is sharing, hello, very relaxing. I almost fell asleep and I forgot I was listening to a live. Great. British sharing, oh, recovering from COVID and feeling horrible, but happy to be here. Oh, love. Big, big, big hugs to you. So much healing. Healing your way, my love. May your body heal as it needs and receive what it needs. And may this be a time of deep rest for you. Yes. Ah, Brad shares, always appreciate to be reminded of what I know is important. Beautiful. And all of this love coming through for Brit and your healing, darling. And JJ shared, wow, I love that. I will keep practicing when I need to feel centered. Oh, my pleasure. Yes. So the centering, thank you for your donation. The centering technique, you can do it as many times throughout the day as you wish. It's a great thing to actually even start the day with. So what I'll do, I have my little wake up ritual where I'm speaking to my soul and my presence and thinking of things I'm grateful for and welcoming the light to embody me. And then I do my other routines and brushing my teeth and all of that. And then before I sit down or not before, but before I start meditating, I have made it a habit to always do the centering technique. So it's part of my morning ritual. It's a daily habit and it does help. And I do it throughout the day. I definitely do it throughout the day as well. Thanks, Heidi. That's very sweet. Ah, and interestingly enough, I'm really getting more that I don't see all of your comments. Sometimes I'll see someone has written a comment to someone else, and I don't see the comment that that person shared. So I'm not sure what that is. It looks like maybe Jen shared a comment. And some have responded to Jen's comment, but I don't see any comment from Jen. So, hi, Jen. I'm not sure what's going on. I do send you my love. Ah, yeah, it is glitchy with comments sometimes. Oh, beautiful, Diana. I'm so glad you're here. Working at loving myself. Beautiful. Yeah, have you? I don't know if you've explored the course that I have, but it really is a nice. It's a nice intro for those of us newer to self love, and it's also it's even nice for those of us who are more experienced with different self love techniques. Yeah, I welcome you to check it out. All of the amazing courses on the app are included in the subscription if you have the subscription. Blessings in your journey. For me, self love is really the ultimate, how to say it? Words, words, words. Self love is really the ultimate surrendering, allowing embodiment of freedom, fullness, and love. And I guess, it really makes sense. We hear things all of the time like you have to love yourself before you can love others and things of this nature. And that really is my experience. I've been a very loving person my whole life, but I don't think I understood that the extent of my ability to feel love is rooted in how much I'm able to feel love for myself. I very well may have been loving people tremendously my whole life, but the capacity at which I'm able to love now, the more and more and more that I embody self love, is profoundly different and more expanded. So wonderful, wonderful, wonderful to be in this journey together. Oh, great, Shay. Beautiful, beautiful. That's why so many of us come here together. On Instagram, I finally changed my title to self-love coach because, there's this idea that it's good to have some kind of a title so people know what you're offering. And I was like, well, that's really the heart of what we do together. It's how do we fall in love with ourselves? How do we practice kindness and compassion with ourselves? How do we meet ourselves with this kindness and compassion and give ourselves to be the messy humans, that it is to be alive? I'm coming back in the comments. Uh, oh, thanks, Andrea. Yes, Angela shares, we can never have too many self-love tools. Angela, I just I just love even I hear you saying that. I was going to say hear you saying that, but I obviously read what you typed. But I just love it so much. It's just so a new version of you, right? Like, can you imagine yourself like really embodying that 2 years ago? It's just so cool to me. I love being in transformation together. We're all transforming together. We're like babies growing up together into our fullness. And it's just so beautiful. I love it so much. Ah, okay, coming back. Uh, oh, Anika. Yeah. Yeah, this is actually a really good point. Anika is sharing, right, Andrea? Especially when she says, I love you, I just melt. And I think so. There are the words, I love you. Yes. Which I know for some is just like, ah, and for some it's like, oh. But there are the words, I love you. And then there's the energy, the transmission, the expression of the embodiment of love that is in the words. I think that, yes, the words, I love you, are impactful, can be very impactful. I think, though, what makes it feel so impactful for so many is what you feel in the words. My voice is like a vessel. It's like a little machine that's just transmuting and dropping love around the planet. And I'm thinking of when I first met my beloved teacher, Saima, over 22 years ago. And Saima sang this song. It was the first time I met Ma, and I was on a weekend workshop. And Ma was singing this song, and in part of the song, Ma's looking around at this small group of people. I'm not good at counting, and I don't really remember. I was young, but maybe 50 people, something like that, maybe more. And part of the song, Ma's looking around and singing, and there are these words, "How deeply you're connected to my soul." And it was like, just my whole being, something happened inside of me to have someone be an embodiment of love and say to me, "How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul." And I felt it, and it moved something deep inside of me. And that was such a beginning, a new beginning in my already active journey. So I feel like I wanted to speak to your comment because there's more happening here than just an awakening of the intellect. There is love here, not the human love necessarily or the emotional love, but the love that is the essence of each and every one of us. And as always, if you don't agree with what I'm saying or don't believe it, no issue. I totally honor whatever you choose to believe in this lifetime. It's okay to not agree on everything, yes. I believe that each of us are an embodiment of love, and we've just forgotten. And then someone like me, and like many of you here, we've done our work. And so all of those layers that were hiding the love come off, and then you can just feel it. You can feel it through a screen. How many people tell me on a regular basis, "I saw your video on Instagram and I could feel the love coming through the screen. How is that possible? What weird nonsense is this? Why can I feel your love coming through the screen, Selena?" And I have a lot of work left to do. I'm not saying that I've done all the work and I'm sitting here totally enlightened. I'm not. I'm fully in the human experience and still shedding layers and doing the shadow work and healing and being in this journey together of awakening together. So we are embodiments of love. And part of the beauty of being together like this is we remind each other. It doesn't even have to be an intellectual reminder, just being in this love frequency together, this state of love together. It helps to reawaken, it helps us to remember who we are. That's why some of you hear my meditations and you're like, "I don't even know why that really impacted me, but something happened inside." Has anyone ever felt that? You listen to one of my meditations, or maybe you were in a live with me and you're like, "I don't really know what this feeling is, but there's something, there's something that's happening," you know? And that's the love. That is that essence, the essence of who you are. I'm not putting something in you. You're remembering, you're feeling that magnificence of who you are. We're mirrors for each other. Yes. You are the light. You are, you are a beautiful being of presence, infinite, unbounded, glorious. And all of the human stuff is an experience. You are the light of soul, of source, of spirit. You are that. How does that feel to say to yourself, I am light? My true essence is love. My true essence is infinite and unbounded presence. Oh, I love that. It opens my heart to a golden sun. Okay, I saw many comments come in, so let's take a trip down memory lane. JJ shared, I always listen to your self soothing meditation when I'm feeling anxious or any other uncomfortable emotion. Oh, I'm so glad it serves. What a gift it is to have a way to go find those parts of ourselves. Yes. I'm so glad it serves, love. And for anyone who's part of the subscription option here on the app, there's another meditation that I created. It's somewhat similar, but it's a bit of a different feeling and a different journey. And it's called Healing Meditation for Self-Criticism. So if you're a Plus member on Insight Timer, check that one out too, because it's that same really loving attention. Oh, it's beautiful, JJ. JJ shared, your meditations have changed the way I speak to myself. Yeah, that's it. That's happened with me in all of these years of studying with Sai Ma. Many of you have heard me share this before. I realized at a point that part of the grace of a spiritual master or a guru, and I know that that's a tainted word for many, but let's just consider it's a pure relationship, um, is the teacher is an embodiment of this same self that I am and has the ability to guide us to remember who we are. And I realized at a point that all of the years of saying things like, oh, my beloved Ma, or I love you, my Ma, or I'm so grateful for Ma, like all of this beautiful love and devotion and gratitude that I felt and feel for Simon, and all of the ways that I learned to speak with greater reverence and devotion, I started speaking that way to myself. I would say, "Oh, my beloved Selena. Oh, my precious Selena. Oh, my most precious soul." I learned to be with myself with that same reverence and that same devotion. And I realized, wow, that's it. Like that is the grace of the master to have me treat myself as the most beloved. What grace is that? And for many of us with religious backgrounds, that feels like blasphemy. It's like sacrilegious to treat ourself with that kind of reverence. So it can be a place for some of us to do some work. I'm not going to go into that today, but maybe we'll touch on that another time. Um, mm, I'm just going back through your comments, loving all the love you're sharing with each other. Oh, it's beautiful, Andrea. Oh, Angela, I'd love to hear more about this because I know that so many can relate to this. Angela shared, it took me a while to understand how you could love me when you hadn't met me. And so many, right? Even many here now today are probably having that experience. So if you feel like sharing what happened inside of you, would love to hear your experience. Liz shares, I love the quote in Timer from yesterday. I don't remember what it was. You wrote it down, that says, instead of looking for the perfect lover, we could instead create the perfect love. Beautiful. I love that. Ah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yes, Shay, we are all one love. Yes, my greatest honor and privilege, Andrea, to remind us of our oneness. That's why I incarnated. That's why many of us incarnated to be in this age of awakening, in this remembrance, so we can remind each other that we're lighthouses. Imagine how transformed our world becomes when each of us remembers this. Imagine if every person on the planet felt this way, remembered their inherent oneness, true oneness, not connection, oneness with all of life. So we're doing the work. It's, you know, it is what it is. Whatever timeline it is, that's what it is. We don't have control over it, so we just keep showing up. Yes. Oh, that's cute. Anika shared, yep. Makes me want to go through my screen and squeeze you. Yeah. Sandy shared, it's like you want to believe in love at first sight kind of love. Oh, how beautiful is that? Isn't that beautiful? Oh, that's the beauty of love. That's the beauty of love. Hmm. I love it. Ah, oh, beautiful, Gary. Gary shared day 7 in your course does it for me. What's day 7, Gary? I don't remember. Is it compassion? No, I think that's later in the course. Maybe day 7 is the emotional one, emotions. You'll have to remind me if you wish. Let's see here. Shay shared, you are the light of soul, of source, of spirit. Feeling loved and at peace. Beautiful, Shay. Beautiful. Okay, let's see here. Andrea, the course, um, Awaken My Heart, A Guide to Living with Self-Love, that one. Uh, and Andrea's asking, is Saima, my teacher, the hugging saint? Uh, different saint. Amachi is the hugging saint, who's also a very, just I'm so blessed to have Amma in my life. My mom took me to meet Amma when I was 10, and I've had the great fortune to attend many events with Amma and receive hugs. What a profound blessing. So Saima is not the hugging saint, the hugging saint. Ma is many things. I definitely, if you have any curiosity, invite you to learn more about who Saima is. One very powerful acknowledgement about who Ma is in the world and Ma's humanitarian work and embodiment of presence and the Divine Mother. There's a lineage, the Vishnu Swami lineage, that has been present, acknowledged for approximately 2,600 years. And there are different teachers, gurus, that are given a title of Jagad Guru, which essentially means like guru of the whole universe. And in this 2,600-year lineage, only men through every single lifetime, right, have been given this title. And for the first time in 2,600 years, Saima was bestowed this title from the masters who held the lineage of this title of Jagat Guru and uh, the Vishnu Swami lineage. Did my brain just go? I think I said that correctly. So Ma is an embodiment of love, also an embodiment of the fierceness of dedication to our awakening humanity, serving the planet and all living beings. Ma is very much dedicated to our mastery and our transformation. Uh, like, for example, Ma has always said, I'm not here for followers. I'm here to awaken masters, to help each of us remember the master that we are, the light that we are, to honor our light, to honor our soul. And as we embody that light that we are, to also serve the planet, to serve each other with love, to remember that each of us are an embodiment of love. So this is so much of my studies for the last 2 plus decades. And then I grew up a yogi baby with my parents who also are very anchored in love and was raised in that way as well. So I'm very, very, very grateful and graced with the teachers in my life. Why I'm here today, Shirley, and how I am here today, Shirley, in many ways. Let's see here. Angela shared, and I think this is in response to my question about what shifted going from how can this woman love me who she's never met me? And Angela shares, I could feel it, but I had trouble believing it. I was struggling with my own self worth. I wasn't feeling lovable or worthy of love. I challenged it with my therapist, and I finally accepted that you do love me and I am worthy of being loved. Thank you so much for sharing that very vulnerable share, my love. And what I really want to highlight in that is that, again, kind of coming back to my share about my experience with Saima, although I didn't share that about that today, it is when we love ourselves that it becomes understandable, believable, acceptable that someone else could love us. So many of us, with the wounding we've experienced, the conditioning we've experienced, the way we were treated in our lives, we live feeling unworthy and unlovable. And then we project that out onto the world. So, what a gift, my love, that you have just kept coming here, kept working with your therapist, kept putting yourself in environments that said, you are lovable, you are worthy, you deserve the best again and again and again and again as your own heart is healing and your own mind is expanding. And it is this knowingness or greater acceptance of the love you are and that you deserve that allows you to feel that love in your life. Yes, so beautiful. Thank you. Andrea says, "Oh, I had the saints confused. All one, yes. The divine mother is the divine mother, no matter the body. Yes. Yes, and Angela said the concept of being loved was unfamiliar. Exactly. That's what I thought, Gary. Gary is referring to lesson 7 in my course, and Gary says, Selena, it's the one on emotion, and everyone should listen to it. It helps my confidence when dealing with emotions. Wonderful. Oh, Andrea, that is very, very, very loving of you to say. Andrea shared, you are a living day saint. We all giving you the title. That is very, very beautiful. Isn't that just such a beautiful thing to love and be loved and just be that embodiment together? All titles and ideas aside of better and worse, just to be loved together. And remember, don't put me on a pedestal. If there are things that I'm living or ways that I'm living that inspire you, great. Let them inspire you. Take them on. Make them goals in your life. If you hear me speak about my disciplines or my choices or how I live my life, and that inspires you, great. Go for it. But just remember, we are one. We are one. Anything I can do, you can do. Okay. Maybe I can do something with my physical body that is not possible for your physical body because of whatever reason. All right. I'm not talking about things like that. Yes. Anything, any light that I can embody, so can you. Any love that I can embody, so can you. Any healing that I can go through, so can you. You are the light of source. You are the light of love. Gary shared a couple weeks ago when you were talking to me, it felt like you could feel me through the screen. I can. I can feel you. Don't you find that, my friends? For those of us who have interacted, sometimes it feels like I'm saying things and I shouldn't know them about you. How do I know that about you? I do feel you. Very much so. Maureen shares, Selena, I'm so very grateful that I found you in this time of my life. It's making a tremendous difference in my life. Thank you. Oh, beautiful, my love. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Jack shares, I find it easy to love. Being loved is hard. Yeah, Jack, thanks for sharing that because so many of us relate to that, right? So, what I was sharing earlier, I think, is the best way that I've ever been able to encapsulate it. And I don't even know that I really understood it as fully as I do just from a little while ago sharing today. I might have the experience that I'm loving, right? But okay, come on. How can I my brain, I've been like yawning for 3 days straight, so I have to really call on my brain power here. Uh, I'm looking for a really simple analogy here. My brain's reaching for things a little more complex. The gist of what I'm going through is we don't know what we don't know, right? We don't know what we don't know. So for example, let's say, um, okay, Selena, just choose one analogy. I've got so many popping through my mind. Let's say that I've been trying to jump with straight legs, right? If anyone can imagine jumping, it's not very easy to difficult. It's not very easy to jump if your legs are straight. You really only have the support of your feet lifting you up. To really get a good high jump, you need to bend your knees. You need to use the strength of your legs, your glutes, your quads, right? To just you use your glutes. I don't know, but you lift yourself up, right? So imagine if I've been jumping my whole life with straight legs. I will tell you without a doubt that I can only jump this high. It's just the way that it is. But then somebody teaches me, Selena, you just bend your knees. And then all of a sudden, I'm jumping 10 times higher than I've ever been able to jump. We don't know what we don't know. And so, for many of us, I'll speak for myself. I think I had an idea of how loving I was, but I think I was only loving to a certain degree. I might have thought that I was the most loving person on the planet, but due to my limited experience of love in myself, I didn't realize how limited it actually was. And it was through my experience and my growth and evolution of really learning to love myself that the love that I felt for others expanded and grew and transformed in ways that I didn't even realize was possible. So, coming back to what you're sharing, Jack, about it feels easy to love, but not easy to receive. Yes, I think in general, for many of us, it feels safer to be the giver than it is to be the receiver. We're more in control when we're the giver. Yes, we're less in control if we're the receiver. We're more able to protect and keep people at a distance when we're the giver. It requires being more vulnerable to be the receiver. It requires a level of openness to be the receiver. And in conjunction with what I was just sharing, we might not be loving as fully as we think we are. We might only be loving to the degree at which we're able to receive love. So just some food for thought there. I'd love to hear what's kind of percolating for you as you hear me speak about this. And I you wrote something else here, so I want to come back because I didn't catch it. You shared um oh, I think that was it on that. You just shared that you've experienced that with me too. And maybe I missed what it was. Oh, the love coming through the screen. So yeah, Jack, I'd love to hear from you. Like when I say that, what do you notice in your body? And I know it's time for us to complete. We'll complete in just a few moments here. Let's see, coming back around. Andrea shared you are such an open channel. That's why you can feel us all. That's definitely part of it. Definitely. And Angela sharing it's safer to give than to receive. Right. Anika shared, my brokenness opened me to love. I was filled with so much hate. There was only room for hate. And then what happened for you, my love? Something cracked. Yes, there was a point where something had to open. And it's all connected. Yes. Hate toward other may very well be connected to hate toward self. Compassion for other connected to the ability to have compassion for self. Yes. Gary uh, shares, I think connection is exactly that, the ability to feel authenticity of those we click with. Am I saying this right? I'll read it again, Gary. I'm sure you're saying it right because there's no right way. And what you feel is what you feel. I think connection is exactly that, the ability to feel authenticity of those we click with. Yeah, I love that. There can be so many definitions. Connection is when you're authentically together, when you can actually be together, when you feel connected with another. And there are many ways that can occur. Yes, because we're so different, we don't all connect in the exact same way. Yes, I think that we feel most connected with others when there is authenticity in our sharing and our presence together. Yeah. Nicole shares, there are a few people that I still hold back from a bit, but generally I've been much more generous in loving people and then I'm receiving it back. Beautiful. And and we're allowed to be giving and receiving with whoever we choose. And I invite each of us to have great discernment in who we are maintaining relationships with. We can love everyone from that unbounded source love that we are. It doesn't mean that we need to be in relationship with everyone. And naturally, we won't be in relationship with everyone. And that's part of life. Hi, Anami. Jack, in response to my question, shows vulnerability has been the door for me to being loved. Yes, exactly. Exactly, right? Because if I'm not vulnerable, what am I doing? If I'm not vulnerable, then I'm doing this, right? I'm not allowing there to be connection. When I become more vulnerable, it's like this, available. And we don't have to like rip ourselves open to be vulnerable. Many of us wouldn't even be able to do that if we tried. It's okay to kind of to go like this or like to make more space, to peel the layers, to make vulnerability. Yes, it's okay. Beautiful, Jack. Oh, I love you. I love you. And you know what's cool? When I say that and you feel it, what do you think I'm also saying? Just throw out an idea. If I'm going like this and saying, I love you, and you can really feel it, like it's authentic. Yeah, I can nailed it. I love me, right? I love me. For me to be able to love you, I must love me. For me to share my heart with you, I must be in love with my own heart. This is it. And oh my goodness, I know for some you're like, "Ooh, that's so cringe, Selena. Thanks. Bye." Or, "Oh, I'd try that, but it's so uncomfortable." This wasn't always second nature for me. I have dedicated myself to open and to heal and to continue to learn to love myself. And it's still a journey. It's still a journey of falling in love with myself. Sometimes those old patterns and mechanisms come up and I feel depressed or I feel disconnected from myself or I feel really upset or lost for a moment. And even if I'm not feeding a story in my mind, there's just some kind of pain that's coming up and I feel disconnected from myself. And then other moments, I, like, walk from my bedroom to my living room, and I involuntarily start skipping and say, "Oh, I love you, Selena. I love you, Selena. I love you, Selena." It's just like it takes me over. I become 4 years old, and I'm just in love with myself for absolutely no reason. So, it's a journey, and there's space for all of it. Just keep coming back. Keep coming back to you. Keep coming back to your little self love techniques and exercises. Keep coming back to the course I have here on the app. Keep coming back to you. Yes, I love it. Sandy says you start by saying it in the mirror. Do that practice. That's so great. And for many of us, it's so uncomfortable. I've been working with clients for years who say, Selena, I tried to look at myself in the mirror and say, I love you, and I just couldn't do it. That's okay. Keep trying. Keep trying. Keep finding ways to meet yourself with kindness. Thank you, Anami. Thank you. Beautiful, beautiful, Nicole. Harriet shares, as always, Selena, love and gratitude to you and everyone here. Thank you, my love, and to you. Ah, yeah, yeah. Jack shares, I do love me very recently, but it is not being returned yet. Perhaps a transitional time. Yeah, Jack. And you might be experiencing like the parts of you that don't feel lovable yet. Like Angela was sharing, the parts of you that don't believe that you're lovable, the parts that are still in the old paradigm of old conditioning that says, I'm not good enough. Someone won't want me. Someone won't like me. I'm not lovable, right? So maybe you're starting to love yourself. And then you come up against the parts of you that say that can't be true. So you just keep loving those parts. You love the shadow. Enlightenment, I love this teaching from Ma. It's not about annihilating the ego. It's not about getting rid of the ego. It's about enlightening the ego. Pour your love into the ego. Pour your love into the shadow. Hold it with tenderness. Meet the darkness with such profound love again and again and again. Your whole experience of life will transform when you start meeting the darkness with love rather than rejecting it, trying to get rid of it, thinking you're supposed to change or be different or better than you are. Hold the darkness with love to whatever capacity you can in the moment. And it might be as simple as saying, I'm so sorry you're feeling this way. I send you my love. And find the tools, find the teachers, find the things that serve you. Lean into that support. We need each other. Yeah. Thanks, Gary. It's important. It's very, very important to be, for me, it's very, Gary said, the fact that you admit your humanness is very endearing. And that's what I'm speaking to. That's, it's the truth. It's the truth of the human experience. Some have an exalted experience and move through the experience of the humanness and they're just in a state. But most of us are still having the human experience. So may we meet it with presence. Jack says, I'm fully open at last, so now I sense when love is not present. When I come in love, others are sleeping. That's okay, Jack. That's their journey. It's not your journey to change them, right? It's not your journey to make them remember love. You just be the love that you are. You just be that. If you are fully being love, then there's no more expectation to be loved. It's like all of these beautiful analogies about how the flowers freely give their scents, the fragrance, and the sun freely gives its light. When we are truly embodying the state of love that we are, there's no void of receiving because we are tuned into the infinite source of giving. So that's that. I invite you to explore that, Jack. I invite you to explore. And, there's a lot of confusion around the idea of giving and it being rooted in people pleasing, which is rooted in a desire to be loved and liked, which is often rooted in a feeling of not being lovable or being worthy or being good enough. So, if we find that we're still looking for the outside world to show us something about ourselves, to love us, to respond to us in some way that tells us that we're good enough or lovable or anything, that's the invitation to go back inside. And if you find that you're in, and this is for all of us, if you find that you're in relationships that are not mirroring back to you peace, love, respect, harmony, then you have the agency to say, I do not choose to put my energy into this relationship anymore. Doesn't mean it's easy. I know. But remember, you are the one who has that power. And what I can tell you from personal experience, I used to always be attracted to people romantically who were very unavailable, who had a lot of wounding. So they needed me, right? Like they had a lot of wounding. So I came in as this big loving light and I had a place. I used to be very attracted to people who kind of were in these places. And the more that I've embodied the love that I am, which also is embodying my worth and embodying the light that I am, and knowing myself as worthy and respecting myself and honoring myself, I have zero attraction anymore to the kinds of people I used to be attracted to. And there's nothing wrong or bad or good about those people in that phase of their journey. It just shows that as I'm in the fullness within myself, I'm not drawn to people anymore who aren't available or who are dependent on me, which shows me a sense of being worthy or lovable. Yeah. And Jack shares that's what I've been doing. But I believe I am on the road between the previous people and those who can see me. Yeah, I hear that. I hear that love. Well, sending you so much strength in this transition period. I fully hear that. And it is, there are transitions in our lives that we go through. So I love you and I see you. And may you find yourself, may you consciously decide to be with the people who see you too. And if there aren't people who aren't seeing you in your environment, wait. Wait for the ones that do because you deserve it. You deserve all of that love and that peace and that respect. All of it. Thank you, Jack. All right, beloveds, look at us. We went nice and over today. I was like, oh, maybe we'll do like a 30-minute session because I've been so tired. But look what you pull out of me, my friends. I just want to keep loving together. I love you. Yes, I love this Hafez poem that Andrea shared. It's one of my favorites. The sun never says to the earth, you owe me. Look what happens to a love like this. It lights up the whole world. So beautiful. I love you. Thank you. May we continue to love ourselves and may we be the embodiments of the light and the love that we choose to be, because it is a choice, meaning it's our nature, but we must choose it because we will be faced with challenges and triggers constantly. So it's our choice. What thoughts are you choosing? How are you tending to those triggers? How are you tending to emotion? How are you caring for yourself? What are you focusing on? Yes. Love is a choice. It's your nature and a choice. So may we choose love as we go out into the rest of the day, the night, the week, the year. I'll see you for our next live session. I love you with all that I am. How could I not? How could I not? In the grace of love and in the grace of our awakening together. Yes, I love you and I honor you and your journey. See you next time.